While I am not the first person to talk about censorship, and hell, I won't even be the last, it's always something people need to talk about. If you aren't constantly in talk about this subject, it always will be advancing. Censorship is always a prevalent thing in our current age and culture, and with the way things look, it looks like people are just gonna let it happen. People are just gonna allow the powers that be to walk all over them, and not let them say what they want to say. It also seems all forms of entertainment are being polluted by this evil thing known as censorship. This site shuts people down all the time, and people either just don't see it happen or they simply don't give a shit. But this is all old hat. This is relatively known about, on this website at least, and as talked about to death as it is, it's still something that needs to be said here and there. However, I'm not going to talk about that. I just want to talk about this in video games. Censorship in video games. What a lovely topic to talk about, is it not? Most people watching this probably are the same demographic. Dudes between the ages of 12 to 30. If you aren't, then hello there. You're pretty special. You are quite the outlier, aren't you? And with most of the people who watch my type of videos, they probably have very similar types of entertainment they enjoy. Maybe it's a certain movie, video game, anime, or some other hobby along these lines. We have a consensus that we enjoy these types of media. However, what I don't enjoy, and what you probably don't enjoy, is this type of censorship that I just see creeping into the entertainments we like to enjoy. I don't know you personally, person watching this video, but if you're here, you probably aren't considered a normal fag. You probably don't watch the mainstream media, you don't like television, you don't like the Hot 100 of music, you probably like more refined tastes. Stuff like video games, Chinese cartoons, and other types of music that's more niche, and it's more out there. It's our own form of outings, if you would call it that. It's media that we like that's more off the beaten path. And that's what kind of brings the charm of it, right? It's something that people don't have easy access to, and they won't invade it and just pollute it. We like that stuff, don't we not? I do, at least. But you know what I hate? You know what would make me hate that type of media I enjoyed? It would be censorship. People trying to dictate what I can and can't do or say inside my own little hub. My own little special community hub. I know that would piss me off a great fucking bit. With the title of this video, I am mainly going to be talking about video games and the companies that make them. I don't watch anime myself because I don't want to watch a cartoon that I need subtitles for. However, you do your own thing, you fucking weeb. My tastes in video games are not of what the average gamer has. I don't look forward to the most popular titles that are shat out each year. I don't have the latest console. I only play a select number of games. You know, not that I'm trying to be a snobbish asshole about my video games. That's just me personally. The games I do have and play with, I have more than likely put lots of hours into them and enjoy. I prefer having a few games I like and will sink many hours into, rather than having a large quantity of them and only putting a tiny bit of time into. Games like Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Garry's Mod, Dying Light, Counter-Strike, Kid Chameleon, 7 Days to Die, and most of the other games I have in my Steam library. If you're a smart cookie, you would have noticed a lot of those games I mentioned are either made by Valve, or some company that's not very fairly known or is actually kind of niche. Well, why? For me personally, another factor I have in determining on if I would spend hard-earned money on a game would be the companies themselves behind the games. And for me, censorship is a really big factor on if I will support the company financially. What is the track record of the company? What is their business practices? How do they treat the consumer? And for me, Valve is probably the best company when it comes to treating the customer right. Aside from having good deals on their games, they don't try to coddle or censor its consumers with their own games. I genuinely like this. Tying back to my original point of censorship, I find it honestly frustrating a lot of companies will censor players. Look at Blizzard, for example. They have so many features that will stop you from doing what you want to do. You can't troll people in Overwatch. You can't call someone a dipshit for acting like a retarded faggot. You can't post trolling videos on this site either. If Overwatch sees you making trolling compilations in their game, they will outright ban you and lock your account. Your account you paid good money on. Look at Rainbow Six Siege. They filter chat and speech. They will lock you out from playing their game as well if you say a naughty word. Look at what Microsoft is about to start doing. They're about to implement features that try to put censorship into their consoles so they can stop hate speech. League of Legends does the same exact thing. However, I think this is kind of expected from an ass faggot game. However, this is just a few examples I'm listing off. I'm sure if you want to see more clown world type shit than this, it's not that hard to find. Wrapping all of this up, I just have to say is, watch out for this evil behavior, and don't support it. If you are the type of person who also hates censorship, and who also hates political correctness, don't support these games financially. Don't buy them. Don't support Ubisoft for making you not be able to say the pee-pee poo-poo naughty words. Don't buy any Blizzard game if you want to have actual fun in your games. Don't buy Microsoft titles if you like calling someone a retard for acting like a retard in your online interactions. Talking about this in video games is just a small fraction of what the bigger picture is. People being okay with censorship. People allowing free speech to be slowly killed. People just letting freedoms getting ticked away very slowly. It's like a frog in a pot of water. The powers that be gradually increase the temperature of that pot. It's very little, and it's very, very small, but it's gradual. And they do it very slowly so you don't notice it. And you know what happens? You don't notice it until you realize you're in a pot of boiling water, and you die. First, it's hate speech that they go after. Then, it's the mean offensive words. And then, it's the next extreme after that. Then the next extreme after that. And then the next extreme after that. And it just gets worse and worse until you finally see the whole picture and you scream, how did it get so bad? Well, you let it happen. Now, whether it was indirectly or directly, you really didn't pay attention to this. Or even worse, you just let it slide. You just let it happen. And the next thing you know, you yourself are being censored for being too extreme. Wake up, people. Please. For the sake of everyone, including yourself. Wake